What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it's your very first time here. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Troy, and here on my channel, I don't promote what you guys will see all over YouTube, which is fear, fire, and false promises, but instead, every single Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, which is 30 minutes before the open of the US stock market, I share with you guys a small list of high-quality dividend stocks that have super high dividend growth rates, super low payout ratios, and history of market outperformance. If you guys want to see more of those videos, make sure you guys consider subscribing to the channel. But without further delay, let's go ahead and jump right into this week's list with number 5, Louisiana Pacific, stock ticker LPX. Including today's video, I've now mentioned LPX 3 times right here on the channel, and if you go back to the very first time I spoke about it, which was earlier this year on May 17th, LPX has outperformed the S&P 500 since then, so let's go ahead and look at the numbers behind that outperformance. LPX is a quarterly payer in the materials sector, paying $1.04 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 0.93%. LPX has been paying and growing this dividend over the last 7 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 16.51%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 13.78%, and a payout ratio of 18.38%. Now, at the time of recording, LPX was trading 1.25% off of their 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of November 20th with a payout date of November 27th. And looking here at this chart, you're going to be able to see the growth of a single $10,000 investment into this fund versus the S&P 500 over the past 10 years. LPX would have taken that $10,000 and turned it into $85,097.36, which outperforms the S&P 500 by $50,073.47. Next up, coming in at number 4 is Applied Materials, stock ticker AMAT. Including today's video, I've now mentioned this stock 6 times right here on the channel. And if you go all the way back to the very first time I spoke about it, which was August 19th of 2022, Applied Materials has also outperformed the S&P 500, so let's go ahead and check on the numbers behind this one. Applied Materials is a quarterly payer in the technology sector, paying $1.60 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 0.83%. Applied Materials has also been paying and growing their dividend for the last 7 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 16.11%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 11.93%, and a payout ratio of just 16.54%. Now, at the time of recording, Applied Materials was actually trading nearly 25% off of their 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of November 21st with a payout date of December 12th. And again, same chart, this time with Applied Materials. That $10,000 investment into this one would have been turned into $96,522.85, which outperforms the S&P 500 by $61,498.96. Next up, coming in at number 3, and a stock I personally own and love, that's Microsoft, stock ticker MSFT. Shockingly enough, this is only the 2nd time I've mentioned this stock in these types of videos here on my channel, and if you go back to the very first time I spoke about it, which was earlier this year on May 10th, Microsoft has actually underperformed the S&P 500 since then, but I love this stock long term, and I want to show you the numbers behind why. Microsoft is a quarterly payer in the technology sector, paying $3.32 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 0.79%. Now, Microsoft has been paying and growing this dividend over the last 22 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 10.23%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 10.28%, and a payout ratio of 25.43%. Now, at the time of recording, Microsoft was trading nearly 10% off of their 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of November 21st with a payout date of December 12th. And looking at this chart, a $10,000 investment into Microsoft 10 years ago, again, only the dividend since then being reinvested, that would have been turned into $101,081.09, which outperforms the S&P 500 by $66,057.20. And with that being said, we're about halfway through this week's video. If you guys haven't already, please take 1 second to leave a like on the video. It lets me know I'm doing a good job and shows YouTube that people want to see this type of content. Also, I want to hear from you guys at the end of the video. I want to know what you guys think of this week's list, good or bad, so let me know down in the comments. But now, let's get to the rest of the list. Coming in at number 2 on this week's list is KLA, stock ticker KLAC. Including today's video, I've now mentioned this stock 5 times right here on the channel, and if you go all the way back to the very first time I spoke about it, which was November 11th of 2022, KLAC has outperformed the S&P 500, so let's go ahead and check on the numbers behind this one. KLA is a quarterly payer in the technology sector, paying $6.80 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 0.99%. KLA has been paying and growing their dividend over the last 15 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 15.65%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 14.1%, and a payout ratio of 22.16%. Now, at the time of recording, KLA was actually trading 23.31% off of their 52-week high, so possibly an opportunity there. They have an ex-dividend date of November 18th with a payout date of December 3rd, and despite falling almost 25% off of their 52-week high, the performance on this one is still absolutely nuts over the long term. KLA over the past 10 years, while only reinvesting your dividends, again, including that drop, would have still turned $10,000 into $130,603.56, which outperforms the S&P 500 by $95,579.67. And coming in at number 1 is a stock I personally love to say, but have no idea if I'm saying right, and that's Lemaitre Vascular, stock ticker LMAT. Including today's video, I've now mentioned this stock 3 times right here on the channel, and if you go all the way back to the very first time I spoke about it on August 19th of 2022, LMAT has crushed the S&P 500, and I'm excited to show you the numbers behind that outperformance. LMAT is a quarterly payer in the healthcare sector, paying $6.40 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of just 0.61%. LMAT has been paying and growing this dividend over the last 14 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 13.42%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 13.79%, and a payout ratio of just 29.67%. Now, at the time of recording, Lemaitre Vascular was only trading 0.53% off of their 52-week high, but they have an ex-dividend date of November 21st and a payout date of December 5th. And here's where this one absolutely takes the cake. A $10,000 investment while only reinvesting your dividends 10 years ago would have been turned into $161,819.39, which outperforms the S&P 500 by a pretty noticeable $126,795.50. Before you guys go, first I want to say thank you guys so much for continuing to watch and support this channel and my series. I want to grow this channel really fast, but I want to do it the right way by keeping my morals high and not promoting a bunch of the crap you guys see all over YouTube, so thank you so much. As I mentioned earlier in the video, one thing to keep in mind about this series is it is kind of important to watch it on time when it first comes out, because if you guys like any of the stocks mentioned and you watch it after those ex-dividend dates, which in this case was from November 18th to November 22nd, you guys can still buy those stocks, but they are all quarterly payers, which means now you need to wait 3 long months before you get your next dividend, and we all know ain't nobody got time for that. With that being said, if you guys did happen to miss last week's video, you are already too late for those dividends, which does suck, but it is still a super high quality list. You guys can check that out right here. But until next time, see ya.